Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Deputies are on the scene of an active death investigation in Henderson. 2 teens found dead in a home. We are live with what we've uncovered in the last hour.
And no automatic sentence. Right now, defense attorneys for the Raleigh mass shooter are trying to convince the judge that Austin Thompson is capable of reform.
And nice warm-up starts today. I'm feeling it out here on the patio. It's thanks to this high-pressure system. I'll show you how much it warms us up and how long it lasts.
We begin this noon hour with breaking news. Vance County deputies are investigating the deaths of 2 teens. Good afternoon. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. We've been keeping our eye on this story after learning about it. The 13 and 17-year-olds were found dead last night in a home on Torrey Drive. That's in Henderson. And that's where we find WRAL's Monica Casey with what she's learned so far today. Monica.
Well, Chris, there is still a lot we are working to learn about what happened here. This house here behind me is at the center of the Vance County Sheriff's Office's investigation. What we know right now is that 2 people, a 13 and 17-year-old, were found dead here last night. We are still working to learn whether they lived in this home, whether they were related to each other, and how they died. As of now, the Sheriff's Office has not released any of that information. Neighbors in this area tell us the last time they saw anyone at that house was this past Saturday when they saw 2 children or teenagers out playing in the snow. That is the last time they saw anyone here. As of now, we are also still working to learn when the people who were found dead in the house died. All of this information we're working to uncover today. We'll bring you more as we get it. Live in Vance County, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
A sad update to a story we've been following all morning. Gardner police say a man who was shot in a vehicle has died. Officers say Joseph Adams was shot on Timber Drive near Vandora Springs Road between 6:30 and 7:30 last night. Investigators are asking for the community's help in finding the shooter. Anyone who may have been in the area around that time, please contact police.
Today, the defense for the man accused of killing 5 people in Raleigh's Hedingham neighborhood placed blame on acne medication. Austin Thompson's team says that it was the effects of that medicine that influenced him to go on a shooting rampage. WRAL's Megan Clardy is closely watching that sentencing hearing. And Megan, today's first witness, Thompson's mother.
That's right. This is the second time that Elise Thompson has testified. She first answered questions for the prosecution and today shared photos and memories of her son's childhood. For more than an hour, the defense walked Austin Thompson's mother through these family photos of her smiling baby boys in their costumes at Halloween, making Christmas cookies, spending time in the pool, and squirrel, dove, and turkey hunting, which they did often with their father. Ahead of her testimony, defense attorney Deontay Thomas told the judge that they plan to show how Thompson was genetically predisposed to be affected by the side effects of his medication, minocycline.
He still has a long life ahead of him, and at the end of all this, we're still going to be asking you to sentence him for more time in prison than he has been alive. But with the opportunity at parole, with the opportunity at redemption.
Just a reminder, this is a sentencing hearing, so the judge will not determine whether Thompson is innocent or guilty. His defense team is aiming to convince the judge that Thompson is redeemable and deserving of parole. His mother says he used to want to be a dental hygienist and just interestingly now hopes to have that job in prison. We are now hearing from a psychiatrist who actually analyzed Austin Thompson, and the court is in break for right now, but we're expecting him back in the next 5 minutes.
All right, thank you for watching that for us, Megan. You can, of course, like and subscribe to our WRAL YouTube channel, and that is where we are live streaming the Raleigh mass shooting sentencing hearing. Afterwards, you can get a more detailed analysis so that you don't have to miss anything that happened that day.
4 people are being treated after a 3-vehicle crash in Johnson County. This happened this morning just off NC 42 East near Kenley. Here in the picture, you can see a head-on crash between a white truck and a blue SUV. And then there was also a truck in the ditch. First responders are on the scene. We're working to find out the extent of those injuries and who was at fault.
Well, it's our first day above 60 degrees in a month, but the above normal temperatures won't stick around. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is out on the WRAL weather patio. I'm a little jealous, but you'll talk a little bit about the rain and cooler temperatures that tomorrow's front's going to bring.
Yes, you should be a little jealous, definitely. It feels great out here right now, and we're looking at just a gorgeous day as we get through the afternoon. And then, of course, things are going to look nice as we get through the next day or so. Now, once we get into the day tomorrow, we're looking at the potential for some showers, and those showers are going to roll through and help to bring us the best chance of rain that we've seen in a while. We'll take a look at what's happening out there right now with that potential for some showers and take a look at what's going on out there. Oh, first, I wanted to show you this. Take a look. Yes, that just looks like a snowball in the gardens behind me, but it was a snowman. The head of it just fell off a few minutes ago. You can see it's kind of sitting there in the sunshine. And so, yep, I think that this may be the end of our little snowman for today. We take a look at temperatures as we're going forward, and it's definitely been a nice, cool morning, cool start to the day, and our temperatures are in the 50s right now. I was surprised that I'm comfortable out here without a coat on, but it actually feels pretty nice. Even, I've got long sleeves on. It's not too bad out here. Our temperature around town for this afternoon, 66 in Raleigh, 66 in Durham, 69 in Fayetteville. And it has been quite some time since we've seen temperatures that warm. So definitely a great feel as you're heading around this afternoon. We do have the potential for some showers that are likely to roll across the area for tomorrow, and we'll take a closer look at that coming up on Futurecast in just a little bit.
And I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center this noon, where we're staying on top of that desperate search for Nancy Guthrie. We know that billboards now are going up across Mexico, across California, searching for Nancy Guthrie. Anyone with any information obviously being asked to contact authorities. But we know this is more than a week into the search, where that deadline with the ransom note that they were looking into for $6 million has passed. And the messaging from the Guthrie family have turned from hopeful to now desperate. Of course, continuing to follow more information here, but authorities have released very little information regarding what they know so far in terms of any potential leads at this time.
Laura, thank you. Wake County school security and safety protocol are the topics on the table for a committee meeting today. WRAL's Carly Haynes is live in Wake County ahead of this discussion. Carly, potential upgrades could be coming to Wake County schools.
Last week, the school board moved $10 million from the land purchasing budget into the school safety infrastructure budget. Now, it's unclear how this money will be used, but there are certain changes that are up for discussion. That includes door cameras, more fencing around schools, and more security staff. There are also going to be discussions about a change in district security practices, like moving into a standard emergency response protocol. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst explains what that means.
That's basically the system that replaces the code red, code yellow, code green to about 5 different commands, hold, things like that better describe what students are supposed to do.
Training for that starts next month, and separately, a nearly $3 billion facility plan is set for discussion a little later on today. It focuses mainly on school renovations and improvements. As part of it, the school district wants to get rid of nearly 100 classroom trailers. They have about 600 right now. So this committee meeting is going to get started in about an hour. We're going to keep you updated with what comes out of it on air and online. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
Today, parents and volunteers showed their appreciation for bus drivers who get their students to their destination every single day. It's part of Love the Bus Week, and there's a special emphasis each week of the month. Today, drivers were treated to a free breakfast and other goodies.
Bus drivers have an opportunity to really kick off their day in the right fashion and send kids off ready to learn.
If I can help, if they need help, then I'm there, which makes me, it just warms my heart.
And it is never too late to show your appreciation. Love the Bus Week runs through Friday.
They are in charge of precious cargo. Next at noon, more cybersecurity jobs. What's behind the growth in positions and how you can transition into a role in the field from a different career.
And Walk for Peace in D.C. The Buddhist monks have arrived at their destination. What they're planning for their stop in the nation's capital.
Does a mass shooter deserve parole? That's what a judge will have to decide in Austin Thompson's sentencing. At 12:30, why the defense argues Thompson does deserve it, despite killing 5 people in Raleigh.
Coming up next, sea storms moving in with WRAL's exclusive Dual Doppler 5000, sponsored by the WRAL Weather app. Download now for live radar.
Happening now here in the WRAL Live Center, Paramount trying to sweeten its deal with that hostile takeover for Warner Brothers Discovery have an update where today the Skydance-owned company said it would pay Warner shareholders an added ticking fee if its deal doesn't go through by the end of the year, amounting to 25 cents per share or a total of $650 million for every quarter after December 31st. So all of this means is that it's trying to really add more money and support for Warner Brothers, also saying that this value otherwise remains unchanged. The company is offering to pay $30 per share in cash to Warner's stakeholders, of course, trying to beat out Netflix and take over the company.
Paramount not giving up. Thank you, Laura. Well, last month, U.S. employers announced nearly 109,000 layoffs. At the same time, the federal government is projecting much faster than average growth, I should say, for cybersecurity roles. And many Americans are asking what's next. Well, cybersecurity is one field that continues to grow, and importantly, not every role requires a technical or an IT background. In this segment, Kimberly Simon from Growth Office Partners will talk about 3 realistic ways to start moving into cybersecurity. But first, talk a little bit about why this growth is even happening.
Great. So the reason why cybersecurity is growing is because every industry relies on data, technology, and digital systems to function. So when companies digitize more, whether they're in finance, retail, whatever industry it is, when companies digitize more, the need to protect information doesn't go away. It only increases. And that's why cybersecurity roles are growing. That's why these jobs are not going away. While AI has changed how we do business, in cybersecurity, we still rely on human judgment, human decision-making, and human accountability. So cybersecurity really is one of those industries where there's still job security, there's still growth, and as you can see, there's still flexibility.
Right. And so the human factor obviously is so important when it comes to this, as you just mentioned. Now, we talked about the why. Let's talk about the how people can kind of start to transition into cybersecurity.
So the first thing is to focus on skills that you already have. One of the most common misconceptions is that you need to be an IT or tech expert to work in cybersecurity, and that's not true. There are many roles in compliance, risk, operations, documentation, training that don't require you to be technical. So if you've worked in finance, you've worked in retail, hospitality, you already have some of those skills that are transferable to this field. Remember, the goal is not to become someone different. It's to use the skills that you already have, just in a field that actually needs them.
And you talked a little bit about, talk about like choosing a guided path, kind of preparing you for a real role once you do enter cybersecurity.
Yeah, another mistake that people make is in thinking that, hey, to get into cybersecurity, I need a bunch of certifications. So they go out and they get as many certifications as they can afford. In reality, employers are looking for people who understand how cybersecurity works in real organizations. They want people who know what access control means and how it works, how data is handled in a real organization, not just theory. So while certifications are helpful, it is best practice to actually find the job readiness skills that allow you to excel in whatever job that you decide to pursue.
Like someone like me, I have communication skills. If I wanted to go into cybersecurity, it may be trying to explain to a client, hey, here's what our product does.
You got it. You got it. And then the final thing is to look at job readiness programs that are guided. Now, this is something that we found in our job readiness program at Growth Office Partners. A lot of people really try to do it alone, and it's hard to transition into a new field. So as a result, they take a bunch of random certifications, they take a bunch of random courses, and they watch YouTube videos, and they wonder why it's not working. But in reality, it is better to find a guided course or a guided program that helps you build your confidence and helps you understand what employers are actually looking for so that you don't waste your time and money.
And the goal again to enter cybersecurity. Well, Kimberly Simon, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully someone took away something very good from this.
Yes.
Chris and Kimberly, thank you. 108 days ago, a group of Buddhist monks set out on a walk for peace from Fort Worth, Texas. Today, the group arrived in Washington, D.C., their final destination, where they're expected to hold outdoor appearances at the Washington National Cathedral. The 15-week trek included stops along the way to engage with the public, including here in North Carolina. That 2,300-mile walk has not been easy. One monk lost his leg after a driver crashed into their caravan in Texas. They also endured back-to-back wintry storms when walking through our state. The Walk for Peace will officially conclude tomorrow at the Lincoln Memorial. But their resilience and their perseverance has been inspiring all the way. We're so glad they got to come through North Carolina. Wish they could have come through during this wonderful weather stretch, Elizabeth, when we get highs in the 60s. That would have been nice.
Yes, and you know, we're going to see more and more of that going forward. We really haven't seen temperatures like this in a while. It was about a month ago in January where we saw some 60s and 70s. And what we're seeing right now is this nice flow coming up from the southwest. We just haven't seen a whole lot of that in the last several weeks. It's just been very winter-like for us. We will see this next front coming through. Behind it, our temperatures will fall back to near normal. So enjoy the 60s for today. And we'll start off with warm temperatures tomorrow. We do have rain in the forecast early on. This is around 3 a.m. And you can see the rain starts to pick up right about the time that the morning commute begins to pick up as well. There's 7 a.m. with a look at a pretty widespread coverage of rain across the area. Some pockets where it may even be heavy at times. There's 9 a.m. And then by the time we get to 10 or so, it looks like it's mostly out of here. And that's going to be the end of it. Our cold front will slide eastward, and then behind the front we'll see the cooler air filtering in again as we get into next week. I wanted to show you this again. It was so sad. You can see the sort of the head of the snowman that just fell over. I pulled the camera up and I'm like, oh look, there's a little snowman out on the patio. But now it's really, you know, just a couple of big snowballs. But you know, maybe they won't be here tomorrow with these warm temperatures. 57 is our temperature right now. Southwest wind at 6 miles per hour. And we can see almost 10 degrees warmer as we get through the afternoon. It's 55 in Holly Springs, 56 in Knightdale, and 55 in Durham right now. So our highs this afternoon in the, say, 63 to 68 degree range is normal for mid to late March. And, you know, really, we're only a month away from the middle of March. So, again, we will have a lot more of this coming our way. But like I said, it's been a while since we've had temperatures quite this warm. January 10th, we hit 76 degrees, and the day after January 11th, it was 68 degrees. Enjoy today because, again, tomorrow's going to start wet and then it'll be cooler. So just take this window to hang out somewhere outside. I know I'm enjoying it. If you felt like it was a cold winter, yes, so far we've been below average across the entire viewing area. For Fayetteville, it's been the coldest winter since 2010 to 11, and in Raleigh, the coldest since 2017 and 2018. But high pressure is helping us out now, sending us this nice warm air just briefly, and then we're going to be dealing with temperatures that are closer to normal. Tomorrow morning, we're not worried about anything frozen. Our temperature will be right around 50, and then we're near normal Thursday, Friday, and Saturday with temperatures near freezing, but at that point we will be dry. 66 today, that's going to be about 10 degrees above normal. 63 Wednesday, and then back to near normal Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Once we get past this coming weekend, we have a good chance of above normal temperatures again. And this is the thing that I love. We only have a little over a week before we start to see our sunsets at 6 p.m. and then later. Our Valentine's Day preview, we're looking at some rain potentially late Saturday night into the day on Sunday. And again, we also have that potential for some rain tomorrow. By Sunday, it looks like we could see a pretty good soaker. I'll show you how much rain we could see coming up.
All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Your time is 12:19, life after prison. Coming up at 4 o'clock, how the governor's office is helping prepare convicted criminals for life after they serve their sentence.
Then at 5:30, issues with accommodations. What problems Shaw University students are facing after a fire left their dorm unlivable. Cutting healthcare costs, whether it's a new insurance carrier or one you've been with for years. 5 on Your Side details 5 steps that you can take to reduce insurance premiums and out-of-pocket costs.
Hims and Hers reversal, what the FDA plans to do after that company pulls the plug on producing a generic form of the weight loss drug Wegovy.
It's not just groceries and rent. Now it's healthcare putting an added pressure on budgets this year. Many of us are facing higher premiums and out-of-pocket costs. 5 on your side's Ashley Rowe shares 5 smart steps to lower medical bills and to avoid paying more than you have to.
Even if you didn't switch your insurance for 2026, you might be in for costly changes. Consumer Reports says there are a few things you can do to cut healthcare costs. Start by studying your plan.
Plans change every year. They work with different doctors, different pharmacies. They may even cover different medications from year to year.
To avoid unexpected charges, you'll want to work with doctors and hospitals that are in network and have partnered with your insurance to offer pre-negotiated rates. Most insurance websites have a Find a Doctor tool, and you can always call the clinic of your choice to verify they'll accept your plan. And if you take prescription medication, don't just refill and pay. Ask your doctor or pharmacist if there's a generic option and whether there are manufacturer coupons or other discounts. That can mean instant savings every month. And remember, generics have to meet the same safety and effectiveness standards as those brand name drugs. If you're overwhelmed by a hospital bill, ask about financial assistance or charity care. Many hospitals have programs that can reduce your balance or even wipe it out, depending on your income.
One heads up, you may have to apply several times to prove that you're qualified.
Finally, don't overlook your community health center. These nonprofit clinics offer primary care. Some also provide dental and mental health services, focusing on uninsured, underinsured, and low-income patients. Another tip from Consumer Reports, consider a health savings account or a flexible spending account. Both let you contribute pre-tax money from your paycheck to cover eligible healthcare costs, including deductibles, over-the-counter medications, and even contact lens supplies, saving you money. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
Telehealth company Hims & Hers is dropping plans to offer a knockoff version of Wegovy's weight loss pill. Following the decision to pull the knockoff drug, the FDA announced it will take steps to limit access to the active ingredients in GLP-1 drugs like Wegovy, Ozempic, and Zepbound. Novo Nordisk, the producer of Wegovy, had threatened to sue Hims.
And Walmart is expanding pharmacy roles and increasing pay potential for thousands of workers. The company is elevating we're talking about 3,000 positions to the newly added pharmacy operations team lead roles. Employees will earn an average of $28 an hour with the potential to earn up to $42 an hour, depending on location. A college degree will not be required for some positions, and that includes pharmacy sales associate, pharmacy technician, and operations team lead roles. ChatGPT users may soon start to see ads. OpenAI plans to test ads on their platform, and they'll appear as labeled sponsored links at the bottom of answers. The company says the ads will not influence the answers ChatGPT provides. For now, ads will only show up for users of the free version or the lowest paid plan.
The Raleigh mass shooter confessed to the crime. Now his lawyers are arguing why Austin Thompson should not automatically get life in prison without parole.
And is it the end of romance? Why some say celebrating Valentine's Day is outdated. We have your winning NC Education lottery numbers right up here on the screen.
Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center, where we now have an update from NBC News about a potential suspect possibly in the case in the search for Nancy Guthrie. NBC News reporting that authorities are planning to release a surveillance photo showing a subject in connection to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. That photo could be released as early as this afternoon. Of course, this comes as we're entering the second week, and we are in the second week of her disappearance in this search. NBC News is preparing to do live coverage on this at some point today, and we will be following the latest developments from this information. Could be a key part in this investigation.
We heard the investigators were trying to find something to help them move forward in this progress. So we'll see that in just a little bit.
That would be a huge development.
Well, the second week of the sentencing hearing for Austin Thompson is underway, and now the defense is making its case.
His attorneys want to show the judge that he is, quote, redeemable and deserving of parole. Thompson has already admitted to killing 5 people in the Hedingham neighborhood in October of 2022. WRAL's Megan Cloherty is monitoring the trial and says that Thompson's mother is explaining the childhood photos of him and his brother James.
Yeah, Thompson's mother, Elise, is again on the stand reminiscing about memories with her boys. However, it's very bittersweet as her son Austin has admitted he shot and stabbed his older brother James. These are some of those photos that Thompson shared of her boys' childhood, including in their Halloween costumes, making Christmas cookies, spending time at the pool, turkey hunting, obviously trying to create a feeling that they had a normal and happy childhood. She says her husband emphasized gun safety and keeping guns unloaded when they went on hunting trips. She says her son is now unable to be emotional and is a very different person since he shot himself and caused a traumatic brain injury.
Do you still love Austin?
Yes, dearly. Still hurts terribly, but yes. Love him dearly. Go down to the playground.
Elise Thompson noted that she did not see a change in either her son's mood during COVID or afterward, and that neither of her sons really had any friends that they'd hang out with outside of school. She painted a picture of a beautiful childhood where they'd take these family trips, they'd play video games in their off time. The defense told the judge they plan to make the case over the next few days that Austin Thompson's actions were a result of the side effects of his acne medication. They also say they'll show Thompson has a genetic marker to be adversely affected by the medication. And we are back from break in the hearing. So we're hearing now from a psychiatrist who has analyzed Austin Thompson and is talking about, his ability to emote and what this kind of injury, his traumatic brain injury, does to his IQ, for example, which is now in the 90s from when he was, making honor roll classes in high school. So sort of an interesting part if you'd like to tune in.
And we know you'll be listening in and continue to give us updates all throughout the afternoon. Megan, thank you. Keep up with the Raleigh mass shooting wherever you are on our WRAL YouTube page. You can get daily recaps from reporters inside the courtroom as well.
We are staying on top of that breaking news we told you about at the top of our newscast. Deputies in Vance County are investigating the deaths of 2 teenagers. Both were found dead inside a home in Henderson. Laura Levine is in the WRAL Live Center with a little bit more about what we know, Laura.
Chris, this is a very troubling scene here at this home in Henderson where the investigation played out. We know that 2 teens were found dead at around 9:45 p.m. Deputies with the Vance County Sheriff's Office responded to the home on Torrey Drive off Hicksboro Road. Deputies again finding 2 teenagers, 13, 17. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. Very limited details have been available in terms of the investigation, how they were found dead here, what exactly happened. So, of course, this is a story that we are staying on top of. Monica Casey giving us live reports throughout the day.
Laura, thank you. California health officials are now linking cases of measles to potential exposure at Disneyland. As of February 5th, there have been nearly 750 confirmed measles cases across the U.S., including 17 cases in North Carolina. After months of fanning anxiety about unfounded vaccine risks, federal health officials are now urging people to get the MMR vaccine. Kevin Cork reports.
Take the vaccine, please. We have a solution for a problem. Not all illnesses are equally dangerous, and not all people are equally susceptible to those illnesses. But measles is one you should get your vaccine.
A Please Sunday from the Director for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Dr. Mehmet Oz, as a measles outbreak in South Carolina grows to more than 900 cases. The CDC says there are confirmed cases now in at least 20 states.
What's so unique about measles is it's so contagious. If you're in a room with somebody with measles and you're not vaccinated, there's like a 90% chance that you're going to catch it.
The spike in infections putting the U.S. at risk of losing its elimination status, which is a designation given to countries that haven't had a continuous spread in cases for more than a year. Critics point to a rise in vaccine skepticism, contributing to lower immunization rates, fueled in part by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
The CDC in the past has not done a good job at quantifying the risks of vaccines. We are going to do that now.
In 2000, U.S. health officials declared measles to be eliminated. And doctors say at this point, many health providers have little to no experience in treating it. Dr. Oz maintains he and his boss are on the same page on how to address the problem.
And that was Kevin Cork reporting. Last month, the deputy director of the CDC called the loss of measles elimination status the cost of doing business, placing the blame on international travel. However, elimination status is taken away if a country is unable to stop ongoing transmission of the virus and circulation continues for a year or longer.
New this hour, Wake County's free teacher supply store says that it has hit $2 million worth of supplies given to teachers. Wake Ed Partnership opened tools for schools 4 years ago. Teachers get credits to shop for free, and nearly 6,000 Wake teachers have used it. Surveys show that teachers on average spend several hundreds of their own dollars each year, and that's to buy things such as markers and notebooks, printer paper, even the printers themselves. Talking about a first for NASA astronauts, the device they have never been able to take with them into space until now.
No grand gestures. How a new generation is changing the way people show love, not just on Valentine's Day, but every day. NASA and SpaceX will try to launch the Crew 12 mission this Friday. Mission teams completed a weather review this morning and waved off Thursday's planned launch due to a low pressure system and high winds along the flight path. The 4-person crew will conduct plant and crystal growth experiments on board the ISS. Crew 12 will be the first NASA astronauts allowed to take selfies with their personal smartphones. Before now, they had to leave their devices behind and use NASA-approved cameras to take pictures. The change also comes ahead of next month's launch of Artemis 2. 4 astronauts, including NC State alum Christina Cook, will take a 10-day trip around the moon.
Well, in less than 10 minutes, Team USA will take on Sweden for the gold medal in curling, and that match will air over on WRAL. You can also catch part 2 of the men's short program for figure skating this afternoon on WRAL at 1:45. Now, here's a look at where the medal count stands right now. Looks like Norway and Italy are both tied with medal count. However, Norway edged out the host nation with 6 gold. How about that? Japan is in 3rd place there with 7, followed by Switzerland. Team USA is in 6th place with 5 medals, which includes 2 gold, 2 silver, and 1 bronze.
3 of those medals did come today. Well, Cupid, we have a problem. The generation that calls Valentine's Day outdated.
And still feeling tired, even after a long night of sleep. A sleep psychologist explains why and how you can prevent that.
Americans are expected to spend a record $29 billion this year on the ones they love. Anna Eliopoulos explains how Gen Z is changing the way we celebrate not only the holiday, but all milestones.
Wedding registries are nothing new to most of us. But what about breakup registries? A new survey commissioned by e-commerce site Etsy reveals 40% of Gen Z say a post-breakup registry would be more useful than a wedding registry.
Valentine's Day today, it's really evolving, especially among Gen Z, and it's really not.
Good afternoon, North Hills. Hope you're having a nice Tuesday today as we're getting you a live look outside right now. It's going to be a nice warmer day today and tomorrow, but those colder temperatures do return. You're watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. Well, as we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines that we're following today. A 13-year-old and 17-year-old were found dead in a Vance County home last night. The sheriff's office responded to that home on Torrey Drive off Hicksboro Road. That was around 9:45 p.m. Now, investigators have not shared any information about how these 2 people died, but they do say this investigation is active.
The man found shot in a car in Garner last night has died. Police say Joseph Adams was shot on Timber Drive around 7:15 p.m. They're asking anyone who was driving in on Timber Drive between Tryon Road and White Oak Road yesterday between 6:30 and 7:30 to contact them. They are specifically looking for any dash cam video from that area at that time.
The sentencing hearing for Austin Thompson continued today with the defense starting its arguments. They're trying to convince the judge that Thompson should have the chance at parole. So far, we have heard from Thompson's mother and a psychiatrist. Thompson was convicted for murdering 5 people, including his brother, in a Raleigh neighborhood in October 2022.
Getting the recommended amount of shut-eye, but still waking up tired? The issue may not be how long you're sleeping, but what's happening while you sleep. It's possible you could suffer from sleep apnea. The condition stops you from breathing, or you're not breathing as well as you could while you sleep. You may not even remember waking up, but that's stopping you from getting a restorative sleep. Caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine can also disrupt your sleep. Now, if you're still feeling tired after changing some habits, consult your doctor.
If you work with your doctor to get blood work done, hormone levels checked, things like testosterone, the hormonal changes that happen during menopause can also lead to fatigue or not feeling refreshed when you wake up, certain deficiencies in vitamins.
Along with not getting enough sleep, oversleeping can actually leave you feeling drowsy as well. Psychologists suggest speaking with your doctor to determine whether tests are needed.
Well, our pet of the day is a happy fella from the Wake County Animal Center. Sam is a 6-year-old mixed breed Labrador weighing in at 62 pounds. He landed in foster care after his owner got sick and couldn't care for him anymore, which made him sad. But thanks to his foster parents and foster sister dogs, his joy has returned. The Wake County Animal Center is currently closed to the public during repairs and renovations. And if you would like to meet Sam, you can contact the Animal Center to be connected with his foster family. And NBC News Daily is next on WRAL, your next local news update in about 30 minutes. And right now, NBC News has a special that is airing that you can see on WRAL.com. It's talking about the surveillance image that has been released in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
And you're seeing that surveillance image right now that they are going to circulate of a masked man armed with a weapon in connection with the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Now in the second week of her disappearance, the mother of Today's Show, Savannah Guthrie. And you can listen in on that special report on WRAL.com.
All right, well, make sure you tune in to WRAL throughout the day and download the WRAL News app. We'll get you updates anytime you need, breaking news, and of course your weather report.
Have a great day, everybody.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air channel 34 and Spectrum channel 1257.